Championship pool is underway in Canmore, Alberta. Welcome back to the 2021 Canadian Mixed Curling Championship. Darren McEwen alongside Gord Coppathorne. We are in for a treat this afternoon. It's the Yellowknife Curling Center's Northwest Territories' Jamie Cooey taking on the Twin Rivers Curling Club from North Battleford, this team Saskatchewan, Dean Grindheim. And Gord, we've already started here with a few rocks in play.
It's the typical simple first end. Throw some rocks down, see the paths, get to know the ice, break the pebble down. So far, it's been pretty straightforward.
We'll get our first glimpse here of Cole Parsons, the second from Northwest Territories. We have the roster here. Northwest Territories is lead Megan Kohler, Cole Parsons, of course, the third Margot Fleming, and the skip Jamie Cooey.
Hard, hard. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But
so they're already learning. They've thrown the same shot twice now, and they've varied their weight to actually keep their shooter. So it's a good first end to learn the ice.
And it's the battle of the Coles today. At second, Cole Tenachuk from North Battleford, Saskatchewan is in the hack. Lead Allison Ingram from Saskatchewan with third Sherry Just and the skip Dean Grindheim. The Saskatchewan team comes in with a record of 4-2. They dropped their last pool game last night to Newfoundland and Labrador in an extra end.
Oh, do we have a little biter out there? No, not so much.
Top eight.
I have noticed a few times this week the rocks really do, maybe not the most lively rocks that you see on some of the other championships, but they do spin back in the house quite often.
The curse of the outside biter.
Yeah. Margot Fleming, of course, if you were watching any of the coverage from Liverpool just a few weeks ago at the Home Hardware Trials. Margot Fleming curling with Carrie Galusha. Carrie actually here to cheer on her twin brother Jamie and the team from Northwest Territories.
Whoa, close, Megan, whoa.
So we're already seeing in excess of 6 feet of curl, which is matches what we were seeing this morning. So it's really a prerogative of the teams to trust the curl, give themselves lots of ice, and let their sweepers win the game for them. The worst thing you can do is overthrow it, because then everything is taken out of it and you lose the line. So you really got to trust this ice.
Saskatchewan third, Sherry Just.
We did notice as well this morning that the outer half of the sheet towards the fans was a later break, so you can definitely throw it through the curl on that side.
Pretty good number of fans here too for this first championship pool game. These are 8-end games, 30 minutes thinking time each. They get 2 timeouts, 90 seconds.
So Cooey is doing a good job of setting up this half of the sheet to maybe get a steal, but certainly create a good force opportunity.
Clean it.
Hammer for these games was predetermined.
Clean it. Well, easy. Where are you? Fight the 4. Easy line, easy line. Fight the 4, fight the 4. You gotta go. You gotta go, guys. You gotta go, you gotta go. Sweep. Good shot.
All right, a hair on the short side, but that's better than being deep. Saskatchewan has to decide how to deal with this mostly buried rock. You can chip it, or you can take off the guard. You have hammer. You can clean up if you want.
That's good. They just lost it on you here. Cautious. It had to be high. It had to be high.
So this is Sherry throwing a, call it board weight style hit. You're welcome to hit either red one. You'd love to hit the one in the house. Just kind of stick out in the 12-foot somewhere.
Nice control weight there to make contact with both those stones.
Didn't quite get shot rock, but it's a very usable outcome. Cooey should. Cooey may go after the blue one, but he could also just put it back in the top of the 4-foot again and keep trying to put the pressure on.
Once you roll it right to here. Or you just draw right now. Just so hard with the curl right now, eh?
You can see them already discussing how the curl is going to have a big impact on this game. So he's out in the straighter half of the sheet. So he shouldn't have to worry about the curl. But this morning's game, we saw a lot of these outside-in rocks over curling once you're down to control or less, say a 10.5 or less, you really pick up a lot of curl. We'll see if they catch on to that.
Shouldn't. I think so. Yeah.
Kui coming in with a record of 5-1. They had wins, rhymed off 5 straight wins over Quebec, Nunavut, Nova Scotia, Manitoba, Alberta. They did lose last night to Northern Ontario.
Clean. Yep.
So having a pretty good handle on the ice so far.
So this is what I'm hoping to see a lot more of as well this game, the opportunity for sweepers to use directional sweeping and really help the Rocks to end up where they should be,
right there,
instead of perpetually fighting against the curl.
Like 9?
Sorry, I just want to be cautious first.
So Blue's going to be hard-pressed to put this in a good spot. Kui's going to be able to go after them anywhere, because even if they do roll, they'll be deep. So they're likely going to be facing 2 reds on their last one, but everything's out in the peripheral, which is not a bad place.
Pop rock again.
Trying to hit half a rock, you heard Dean say there in the hack.
Ideally, you try to hide it under the guard to make it harder for Kui to deal with it.
Shot, right? I got that going a bit.
Really got to go to hold the shooter here. They might get the double, though, unintentionally. Over the top. Saskatchewan fans like it.
Luck smiles on them.
Yeah, they were wearing green maybe for a reason.
Good awareness of the sheet.
Yeah, they did call it halfway down for sure.
And that's what we were saying, is once it starts to pick up the curl on the outside in, it really moves.
Yeah, good shot.
Mine should run a little longer.
So Kui's going to try to throw this one top house under the guard and make him try to outdraw it.
Mentioned Northwest Territories comes in with a record of 5-1. When you begin the championship pool, your record comes with you. You cross over. There was Pool A, Pool B. Northwest Territories finished 3rd in Pool A, and Saskatchewan 2nd in Pool B. So those records stay with them. They play all the other 4 teams that came from the other pool as part of this championship round, and then those top 4 teams go into a kind of standard playoff, 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, which happens on Sunday.
The format matches what they're doing in the Scotties and the Brier, so everybody should be getting used to this concept.
Whoa, cool.
It's creative, it works.
No! Whoa! Whoa! You guys, stop!
So here's a situation where you actually don't want it to go deep. Even if you leave a piece showing, you don't want to go deep, because you want him to have to chase you to earn his 1 point. Had they been 2 feet deeper, you give them more choices.
And
There's plenty of room to curl a heavy draw in here, so they can get shot rock fairly easily. The danger, of course, is that if you overthrow the weight, you're not going to get the line you're expecting, because it's going to push through the break point, and you're actually going to get more the edge of the red and spin off of it. So the key here is to throw the weight that you're expecting.
Mission accomplished for Northwest Territories, getting at least the force here, trying to pull off a steal in the opening end.
I do got a piece, Sherry. I've got a little piece. But
good view there. You can see he's got maybe 1/8 of a rock, and it is a 2 guard.
Yeah. You like board?
Yeah, you got about 1/3 of a rock, and this is probably the 4th time that this particular shot has been thrown this end, so they can predict what it's going to do fairly easily.
I think that should be close.
Again, throw the weight that you're actually expecting.
10.5. 10.5.
So 10.5 would be kind of control for everyone else out in the world. So you're giving it enough weight to curl, but not break hard on you.
Dean Grindheim with his final stone of this first end, facing 1, looking for the blank attempt. Or the single if you can get it by.
They're fighting the curl.
That is on the front, I believe.
They just want to make sure it's small enough for the front.
Yeah. So a steal of 1 to open things up for the team from Yellowknife. 1-0 lead.
So congratulations to Kui that end. They played simple shots, and it all worked out for them. I don't think Saskatchewan's going to be too concerned at having given up 1. It's an acceptable scenario to be in. You have hammer now. You can generate your 2. Keep control of the game.
We have 2 other championship pool games on the ice right now, Sheet B and C. We have Manitoba who are playing off against Ontario. Manitoba is coming in with a 3-3 record. Ontario finished first in their pool at 5-1. Quebec is finished first in their pool. They were in the same pool as Northwest Territories. They're 5-1 as well. But by virtue of, I believe it was last stone draw actually, with the tie that happened there to break that, they finished first. So they're playing New Brunswick's James Grattan. He's 4-2, and to open things up, it looks like it was we'll wait for the scores to go up. You can actually find all the scores. You know what? It's better I even use curling.ca/scoreboard because I can't see through all the bodies here at the curling club. So at home, you can use it as well, so you can see who's leading. It looks like Manitoba got a single on Ontario, and it was a blank in the other game.
It's over curling too.
Megan,
gotta keep these high, guys.
You can hear Cooey there encouraging the team to throw it short of where you want and let the sweepers put it somewhere. That's an opportunity. You know, you never want to be lower than the tee line at this level because you're not giving yourself much to work from.
Allison Ingram. Allison is a pharmacist at Fisher's Drugstore in North Battleford. No doubt been very busy in the last year and a half. She was saying it wasn't just dealing with people with getting their shots. It was also just questions. It was all the questions people had. It was a very stressful time for all the frontline workers, including Allison. So thanks for her hard work.
Shout out to anyone in the medical industry who's been helping this country out this last year and a half.
Yeah.
Shoot. Excellent corner guard put up. Now Cooey will probably try to put the center guard back up again.
Still look like lots. Whoa! Still looks like lots to me.
They're calling top four, so they're basically going to be doing it backwards, draw the house, and then hope to get a chance to throw the guard later. The one at the back might end up being a forced rock later, so it's got potential.
Just digs in.
Well done, well done. So now you get to see a team actually getting a chance to use the corner guard. By missing their guard to start with, they had to throw their center guard on the second one. So now blue has a great chance to put that one under there, which will be an opportunity for your two. This morning's game, we saw a lot of scenarios where the team with hammer was simply playing around the center guard, making a really busy forefoot. It'll be interesting to see if these two teams are more inclined to push play out to the sides, which is more traditional, like you see on TV, for example.
A little bit. Yep. Good, good.
Well executed draw.
Fine, just enough to get into here. Just enough to get it out.
So now you see the advantage of swingy ice. You can move a lot of rocks with hack weight because you can come completely around guards.
Whoa!
Cole being asked to just do just that.
Yep. Yes!
The pressure, of course, is entirely on throwing the weight to match it. A little light, you crash. A little heavy, you flash.
Whoa.
This is all over that corner guard, though. Might almost be a nose.
Here. Hard to not do something real bad here.
Don't want to just bump it in. Yeah, you hear Jamie say.
And now blue is sitting two under a corner guard. You might see enough of it to get both blues moving, but it's certainly not ideal.
No, not with hammer for Northwest Saskatchewan having hammer. That's not ideal for Northwest Territories, but an opportunity for the team from North Battleford.
So now Dean's asking for a draw around the center guard, which is good. But you want to err on the side of sticking out towards his side, so that if there is something hittable, it's just rolling away from all those blue ones. The danger here is if you get too cute with the ice and you poke out over curling, then you're actually becoming a detriment to yourself.
Cole Tanachuk, familiar name for those in Saskatchewan.
You're good.
In the last few years, he's competed in a lot of provincial championships, both mixed doubles, men's, juniors before that. And having won the provincial championship this year to represent and wear that green jacket here in Canmore.
Well, they did poke out, but it's deep enough that part doesn't matter, I suppose. But it's behind the tee line, so Jamie's deciding to ignore it because these two above the tee are a greater challenge to him.
Hair low.
He's electing to play a run back, which opens up the double on his next one at the least.
No.
Cole Parsons very quick out of the hack.
No,
I noticed.
we're
He's
going to get our guard here.
curled with Jamie for a long time. I know that. So, we might get the other one though.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
right.
fortunate.
Good.
You know what? Saskatchewan got a good break on that last end with their
See,
double.
tit for
We'll
tat.
take that.
Right,
Yeah,
that's good. He gets the added bonus of that it's deep, so even if blue does make a great shot on this, it's still going to be below the tee line. So Jamie's going to have options. He's going to have the double. He's going to have a freeze. He's going to have, you know, lots of potential. At this point, if I'm Northwest Territories, I'm dedicated to how do I force one. Stealing would be an audacious plan. And Saskatchewan does have the potential to create a pair. I might have been inclined to leave this one high in the forefoot.
looks like it's a little strong.
Well, they're sitting two again, which is not a bad position to be in. I would have loved to have seen him biting the top of the button under that center guard, and then that back red one could have been removed down the road for a chance for a 2 or 3
If it hits
or
that, it
a 4.
goes off it. Probably knows.
Jamie says it's a chance these blue could go redirect back under the red, but it won't jam it. It might just touch it, or it shouldn't.
There's also the chance for a thin double across to that one that's sitting at the back.
Megan!
Got to get to the other side of this rock first, though.
Shot.
That's safe. Sitting second and third. Blue now has to work hard to figure out how to get a 2. So now this is where I think he should have done last shot. Ignored all that other stuff and just thrown it into the top of the forefoot because he's now landed there anyway. That's all right. Once again, the weight seems to be a little on the firm side.
Sweeper's calling out 10, which would be
Do we need a route?
back to those back stones. Oh, just missed the rub, and we'll go by the other one as well. Wow. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication or late
roll right
communication on
behind it,
that. Could have used the wick for sure to
What do you
try and
say?
keep it in the house.
Split your blues would have been nice. You'd have had 2
Whatever you
fairly
like.
even, hard double.
Gotta be
Jamie
low.
is-
This is fun.
Electing to stay being cautious.
I
Like
like
I said,
board.
stealing is not really a probable outcome right now. So by just keeping reds in the house, you're going to force them to 1.
Yep. Hard. Really gotta go, Cole.
So this is a light
Harder,
side of the
Cole!
weight spectrum hit. So they're
Come on,
really
Cole!
fighting to keep
Just
this
to get
rocking.
a piece of this, Gordon? They'll get a piece, but not nearly enough.
That was probably more like board weight, which I don't think he was expecting. I didn't see the weight call, but that's not what I would have expected for a wide open hit. Once again, we're going after the top of the forefoot. Attempt number 2 for Sherry, so see if she learned the weight.
Yep.
It's looking good so far.
I still thought we were.
Gotta go.
Line is nice, but more than anything, make sure you're above the tee line.
Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go.
Tight to the
gotta
guard.
go. Gotta go. You're by.
It's looking really
Ingram
good.
and Tenachek on
good,
the
that's good.
sweep, and they'll get it by.
Good sweep.
Excellent team shot there.
A lot of Saskatchewan fans in the crowd today.
So gut check for Cooey. Do you play the run back
Yeah, you just let me know on the
get
first
shot
one.
rock, or do you just hit the back blue one and say, you know what, kudos, you're
I
going to
didn't know
get
it
your 2.
was 10 until it was like,
The risk here is if
Still
you
like,
miss the run back, then
D-line.
they're going to have a
no.
fairly spread out house sitting
Just
3.
for multiples, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think this side's quicker.
Well, if you want someone to be playing this, I'd pick of the people on the ice, probably Jamie.
Anyone whose last name is Cooey is generally good at running things back.
Jamie Cooey with his first of this second end. Got to drag this out, though. This one doesn't look like it's got a chance.
A little surprised by the way he called that. He actually was almost playing negative ice. Perhaps he floats his out, turns out. But yeah, they were inside of nose and then played that turn. So I was a bit surprised by that.
You could put it right here is good.
So now where do you put a blue one that's going to minimize the likelihood of a double takeout?
Yeah.
There's easily enough curl to put it underneath of that red one. You could corner freeze it on the red one, but you'd risk not being third shot. You put it over here on the broom holder's right side, you risk setting up doubles. Grouping rocks can be a dangerous thing to do. Personally, I think I would go
Just
above
open your
T
side?
line on the broom holder's left.
8 foot. Yeah. Yes.
It's going to be a busy few weeks for Dean Grintheim.
Right?
He's actually going to be skipping the Saskatchewan team at the 2021 Everest Canadian Curling Club Championships in Ottawa as well. So wearing the Saskatchewan jacket twice in a few weeks. Having great success so far this week.
Easy, 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 easy.
All signs pointing to a little heavy again.
Sweepers.
Crossing center line, you tend to lose a little bit more weight, so they should be close. So we're now cross center and picked up the curl, so key point is be at least third shot.
And they are. And they set up a double.
There's always going to be a double. There's no way to not make a double when you've put your rock on that half of the ice.
I mean, you sit right here.
The question is, can Cooey shoot it in a manner and put his shot rock into a good spot? Hypothetically speaking, he could make a double and roll somewhere into that position if he hits about 7/8.
You heard Jamie say he's worried about that center line, so maybe there's a little bit of difference in the ice today from what you saw earlier in the week.
That might have to do with why he called the last one the way he did as well.
Right.
He may have expected it to ride the center line.
Jamie Cooey, his final stone of this second end, facing 3 Saskatchewan counters, trying for the double.
Going for the flat double.
1-2, there they go.
Very good shot. And he leaves his shooter somewhat in front of the blue one to make it more tricky.
Great shot by the skip from Yellowknife.
I don't want to cut it like over.
So this is where we saw the teams this morning really struggling to trust the ice. If he throws control here, he's probably going to get close to nose. If he's anything on the lighter side of control, he's easily going to over curl this one. It breaks really hard in this path.
Final stone of the second end. Saskatchewan looking to get on the board.
Well thrown. Good strong control weight. Gets his 2.
They get their 2. It's a 2-1 lead now for Saskatchewan after 2 ends of this draw here at the Canmore Golf and Curling Club in the 2021 Canadian Mixed Curling Championship.
So looking over on the other sheets, Grattan is in a good position for putting some pressure on Jean-Michel Menard on his last rock. Great opportunity to force one. So we're we're looking for the center guard. Preferably a couple feet short of the house, but not too long so that you can't just easily wrap around it with a board weight hit.
Line will be good. Line will be good.
Allison Ingram's first stone here. Allison was actually selected to participate in the high performance program in Saskatchewan as a junior. She credits that with the coaching she received and all the support she received to really advance her game. And you can see her technical skills, her mechanics. She's very strong lead here for Saskatchewan.
So Cooey's elected to go around the center guard himself, kind of the pattern we saw this morning.
Line's tight.
You see that quite a bit in mixed style curling, unlike Dean, who chose to put up the corner guard.
Where is it?
Looks a little strong.
No. Sweep, sweep, sweep.
Megan Kohler, she's made 7 Scotties appearances, most recently in 2018.
Well, we've just set up a mixed doubles end.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yep. Yep. Yep.
This one's coming in nicely.
Gotta go.
Should get
Gotta
fairly
go.
buried. It'll be top house.
Gotta go.
Good shot in the making.
Good judge there. You heard the sweepers calling out a 6 scored. For those not familiar, those zones for sweeping help.
Absolutely. It's just a simpler way to say top house, top 12, whatever. By giving it a number, you can clearly articulate to the skip where you think it's going to stop.
And the noisier the curling club too, if you're using top 12 and someone hears back 12, it makes a big difference. So
absolutely.
You're not going to make too many audible mistakes with calling out those zones.
The one part of that communication that teams have to figure out for themselves as well is when you call top 12, you call the 4, is that where you think you're going to sweep it to, or where you think it'll go on its own?
Yeah.
That's one of those team learning moments.
Right.
So we're getting quite the cluster of rocks down the middle. I'm sure we'll see granite moving soon, but we're getting some good positioning going so far.
Cole throughout his life has been a multi-sport.
What do you got?
Competed in football, golf, volleyball, badminton, but saying curling is where he's found the most success. Been at provincial events for various sports.
Gotta go.
So we're light and tight on the line for this one. So I think they're just going to try to create a wider guard out of it if they can.
Okay.
Not bad. Not bad.
What do you see in this? You can try to get over the top. Dan, you can probably get it out here.
So we're seeing Cooey
It's better than this one being here.
preferencing moving rocks so far this game, which is an acceptable approach. Keep the 4-foot clean so that you have something to deal with on your last shot or two. Many years of learning that could be inspiring those kinds of choices.
Just 3 quarters. 3 quarters.
Peeling guards, that's also an excellent choice when you're looking at lots in the house and have hammer.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Well, you should get 2 moving.
Good.
Good shot.
Great shot there by Cole Parsons. Jamie asking Margot to leave it as a corner.
That'd be tough to draw behind, but I suppose it's possible.
Still.
Bite 1 inch of the house.
10.
Saskatchewan has decided that things aren't setting up real great for them, so remove some opponents' rocks.
Whoa.
This is also a bit of a recognition of who you're playing against. If you're playing a team that likes to hit and move a lot of rocks, then it's not a bad idea to get rid of theirs as well.
Might get both red.
Oh, nice.
Great shot and a great team shot there. A good sweep. Saskatchewan now sitting 2. Northwest Territories, though, have hammer.
Hair high.
2 shots later, we are down to 2 rocks, possibly soon to be 1. This ice is so easy to read if you're used to it, so throw the weight towards the broom and a lot of things can happen.
Cole Parsons.
Yep.
2 trips for Cole to the Tim Hortons Brier, including 2020.
Real hard.
They went 2 and 5, 1 and 6 back in 2019.
And there
Nice double there by Cole.
Down to 1.
9.
No, there's no reason to try to get cute and create that corner guard you couldn't hide behind if you wanted to, so just keep it clean and move on.
Yep. Clean, just clean. Clean, just clean. Good.
Sherry just there with her first.
If they had truly nosed it, then Jamie would have potentially stuck a nose and made a guard out of it that you could have created from, but this is the expected outcome. Just change rocks.
Yep. Yeah, you gotta go. Okay. Okay. Whoa. Whoa.
Trying for the big roll here, Gord.
Trying to hide behind that very intricate corner guard. As well, they don't want to risk them creating a guard that they could dance with later. So by rolling now, again, even if they make a nice nose hit, they could hit and roll back in the house again themselves.
Sherry Just, she's the executive director of Saskatchewan Society of Occupational Therapists. And she wanted us to mention it is Occupational Therapist Month this month, this November.
We're good.
A lot of these curlers, well, I would say all of these curlers at this event have, they're not full-time curlers, so it takes a lot to get away from their jobs, and appreciate the support of their employers to let them do that. And I'll point out this year in particular, a lot of these, I think Saskatchewan was just a couple weeks ago when they won their provincial championships. So taking time off for provincials and then time off for a national championship is never easy to do. So appreciate all the employers out there who make this possible for them to shuffle things around.
Good.
Completely agree. So yes, here's a nice example of how now he's able to roll it back in the house to keep them being, keep Saskatchewan chasing their rocks.
10.
If that had been 2 inches short of the house, they may well have thrown a draw around to try to get an opportunity to force.
10. Yeah. We got to roll a little bit because we dead nose, we're not quite in.
Interesting little aspect of the way they're calling their weights. I like they're using times.
Either way,
it's very easy to visualize 10 as opposed to say control.
Yeah.
The one interesting thing we've learned over the years is using half numbers is a little bit simpler. And the reasoning is this: if you say you want 10, if the person actually throws, let's say 9 3/4, if the person in the house only hears 9, you don't really know how close you are.
Right.
If you called for 10 1/2 and it was somewhere in the 10s, it's acceptable.
Right.
So the clarity of communication in a noisy barn makes it a little bit safer for you by using half numbers. Because you actually have a range of plus or minus 1/2 and it's still 10 something.
Gord, that's a lot of math for this morning. A lot of numbers.
Well, if you play in a lot of noisy rinks, you do everything you can to keep communication easy and simple.
Jamie Cooey wasting no time here.
Yep.
And just ripping it off. Go ahead and try to hide behind that corner guard.
We want to see someone do it.
He's going to try. No reason not to. Well, or just throw it in the middle and hope he can. Hope he messes up the rollout. I'm not sure. I'd assume Kevin or Jamie's going to mess the rollout out, but we are going to go behind the sort of guard.
Okay.
So going out to the wings, it'll be pick a number, quarter second, half second slower than down the middle. You're usually fighting against the pebble, going down the less used center of the sheet. So it'll be a hair slower.
Sherry saying it needs to curl a bit. 14.4 was the hog-to-hog I got on that.
That's actually a very nice number to work with.
Yep, it will hang on, so Jamie can see all of that and more.
So that means we're running about 15 seconds to T-line, which is actually a little on the fast side for what most teams probably run into, but this far into the week, you should be comfortable with that by now. So this is a fairly straightforward hit and roll out. I imagine we'll see a nice 7-second peel or something along those lines.
Yep, gotta go. Hard call. Keep going, hard.
Uh-oh.
Get it out. It does. So a blank goes on the board for the third end here in Canmore. It's still a 2-1 lead for Saskatchewan. Take a minute to thank our sponsors here, our local sponsors at the 2021 Canadian the Canadian Mixed Curling Club Championship. It's Tourism Canmore Kananaskis, Mary's Popcorn, Visions Electronics, the Canmore Golf and Curling Club, Rome Transit, Canmore Brewery and Distillery, Canmore Raft Tours, El Telquilno Tequila, Golf Design Services Limited, and Moosehead Breweries. Thank you very much for making this event possible.
Yes, thank you very much for all your support. So back to the center guard. Still looking for roughly that dot 3 feet out of the house.
Line's good. Line's good. Line's good.
Both these teams, quick decisions, quick in the hack. I don't think time will be a factor in this game. I shouldn't say that yet, but they're moving along at a pretty good clip here.
We witnessed a game at the Pinties last weekend where both teams had less than 5 seconds left. Every second you can save may be important.
Well, Jamie's brother told me once that you're given the time, use it, which makes sense. And I mean, if you're good under pressure, create that external pressure that you can. It works out for you. He's never run out of time. But
You got
Lots of practice at not very much time.
I mean, there's great basketball players who are, they'll run the shot clock down and for that reason too. So, but it's been a quick game. I was watching the game the other night with Jamie was playing. I think it was actually, I can't remember who they were up against, and they had tons of time left. So,
Excellent top 4 draw. The best thing you can do now is just start creating some angles. Jean-Michel Menard with a triple takeout on sheet C. That cleans things up quickly.
Easy. We got nothing yet.
the sweepers saying they're back 4 right now on this one.
Well, this is the side of the sheet that breaks really late, but will come over if you've thrown the right weight. No. This one here, they threw back 4. Therefore, they didn't get up to the nose, and they bounced off the side. The kiss of death, as we call it, because now that rock is, it is second shot, but it's not helping you at this moment.
Will the Gord, we have a bigger crowd today. It's a beautiful day in Canmore, although it is chilly. Will those factors be, or will those be a factor, especially the crowd here on this sheet right beside them?
Where are you?
I wouldn't be playing it that way myself. It is body, it is people, but it's not nearly volumes like you see at big events, and there's not the air circulation to push that heat out onto the sheet, so I wouldn't be expecting it until the sheet showed me otherwise. Thus far, it's doing exactly the same as this morning.
That one comes up a little short of where they wanted it.
It's a usable rock. You have hammer. You don't generally want to park your rock in a center guard type position, but it's tight.
Yeah, and you can use it later in the end, right?
And that is certainly something that Jamie will be looking at later in the end, going, I can use this rock. It's better there than a third berry biting the top 12.
Stay close.
Sherry and Allison just light clean on this one.
This is also a little on the strong side, so it's going to create some separation. So you may well see Jamie using that red guard already, because Cole's throwing, and we've seen him throw plenty of weight.
It's not clear to me who's shot right now.
Is the hair high?
would suggest the top blue one, but the bigger thing is there in front of the tee line, so you don't actually care who shot. You just don't like them there.
Yeah. Can't make anything behind. Well, I shouldn't say that. Most of the time, you can't make anything behind the tee line any better.
Hard to move them forward.
All right.
Whoa. Yep. Yes.
Cole Parsons being asked to play the run back on that front stone.
Hard.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
No, that's not what they wanted to do, and they left a little bit of overlap there too, Gord, on those guards.
Getting back to saying earlier, these sheets are curling hard, and that's one where if you hit it thin, you're fine.
Way right there.
At worst, you peel all the guards out if you catch a quarter of the rock. That was a very unfortunate way to have made that mistake. So now they're going to park one somewhere on, say, those little mountains in the top of the 8-foot, and Jamie is going to be 2 or 3 rocks to even have a chance to score.
Cole Tanachuk being asked to plant his stone in the Three Sisters of Canmore here on the sheet A.
No. No.
Well, he looks close.
Like you said earlier, it does swoop in here if he's got the right weight.
Little warm, little warm. You're certainly into the 4-foot. Oh, now we're going to make a pocket. Jamie saying thank you, unfortunately. I suspect he'll blow up the front anyway.
Try to roll that in.
Yeah.
Like a good control.
So yeah, this is a good. I mean, some players might have walked up there and said, "Throw peel weight, throw normal, get rid of them." But Jamie's looking at the angles here, and that red one can spin into the house with less weight than throwing normal or peel.
You would ideally have both red rocks moving together
To the
and
left.
actually stacking.
No, we're not even hitting it.
Oh, but you got to hit it first. Yeah.
Come on, Marco.
Margot being asked to drag that over.
Almost.
Stay up there.
Oh, it does get into the house. Still a very usable rock.
Yeah, you certainly would have loved that to have spin out of the center 3-4 feet, out somewhere in the 8-foot, 12-foot range. So that might actually been, competing corrections. Maybe Jamie gave him more ice. Maybe he flicked it out a little bit. A little bit of both. Oops.
We're tight.
So now we're still looking for the Three Sisters Mountains.
Yep.
You would love to tuck just a corner under that red one, which takes even that kind of a run back out.
Yep. Yep. Just around. Whoa. Nope.
Put that right in the Bow Valley.
Probably couldn't have walked it down a whole lot better.
Great team shot there by Saskatchewan.
So now Jamie can get a lot of rocks moving, but the question is he going to get anything out of it? So, red could easily create a double in that scenario, but he's still going to be a dead duck right there that they would just hit back. You could come around the side,
that there, I guess.
and you could try placing a rock here.
This is going right into that, but
That's not bad, but you're now going to be forced to one because they're just going to cap it all off,
Is it normal?
and then they'll have slashes back. So I agree with him here. I think the best thing you can do is just keep opening it up.
Yeah, he'll take a force at this point.
He would be happy with one at this point.
Margot Fleming being asked to play cleanup here in the 4th end.
yep.
It's certainly nice when you have a third who can throw peels.
Hard to roll it, anything.
Almost got the back one along the way.
Everything above the tee line is missing. Your rock is still flirting with being center guard-like, but it's better. And now he's, Saskatchewan's just going to try to generate a chance to hide one more in there somehow. Worst case scenario, they're still sitting 2, which is a forced scenario.
Should mention Saskatchewan, of course, a powerhouse in curling. The province has won 10. They're just behind Alberta, who's won 11 mixed championships. 10 for Saskatchewan. The territories, Northwest Territories, none of the territories in the north have actually ever won this event or any national curling championship. So obviously that might be in the back of their mind as they go throughout the week. A great opportunity here to make history. And of course, if Saskatchewan were to pull off a win later in the week, they would tie Alberta for the most ever mixed with 11.
Well, if I had $5 in my pocket and I was a betting man, I wouldn't have been against putting it on Cooey. He certainly has the potential to get Northwest Territories a win, a championship.
Been to a lot of national championships, both mixed and men's, and doesn't have his name on one yet.
Curl to save our. Might just bump this right in. Curl.
Yeah, that's
Oh, look
acceptable.
at that. And right behind that corner.
There's that
they
stacked
just moved.
pair of rocks,
Yeah.
right?
Great shot.
Unlikely Saskatchewan's going to care about that rock over there. You can nullify it by just a nice draw somewhere and split out the house.
There you see a good view of it.
I like the. You like tight 3?
So here's a question. Are
right
you
here?
driving for a steal or are you driving for a force? I don't personally think this is a steal scenario. You are deep under the tee line, so even a perfect guard, he can play a bump, he can play a draw,
Going
he
in
can
with
play
this or
whatever.
tight?
If you
What do we want to guard?
make this
Well,
a
you
not
gotta-
great guard, he could actually
Which
play
side, though? The
some
inside?
kind of a roll underneath of it and create a skip's deuce out
can
of
make
it.
the double on the inside.
So if
too,
it was me, I would just be simply spreading out the house and saying, you know, get your one.
Ideally, we want to be. Well, I'm going
You
to say
throw a
three
perfect
quarters on
center
the
guard
inside.
and he freezes that one just
Right,
behind the tee line, you're
outside
going to have a
double rolls out.
problem.
Then we've got a
Then
center
you got to
guard
freeze
behind.
him back to try to force one.
Yeah, you heard Cole and Dean having a conversation
we
there
hit it.
about that.
But we only see half a rock.
There was some discussion about
Better off to
chasing
just put another one in the rings over
corner,
where
but
her broom is.
Where her broom currently is
Like
would
this?
be a nice spot for a rock. That is so far over that Jamie would be hard pressed to make a double with it.
Dean opting for the guard here.
You're going to have to curl.
Trying to make this one curl.
Directional sweep, it should help it out. Getting enough curl has not usually been the
Easy,
problem.
easy.
Yeah, these are really hard shots to make on this ice.
Guards can be very complicated.
You saw that. They were trying to make it curl most of the way down, and then Dean having a laugh at the end of it. It really came in there nice.
So unfortunately, they're setting up exactly what I spoke to. If he plays a freeze, even a small bump on this, then a 2 is very, very much a possibility again.
Yeah, freeze is fine though. Like what's he do? He's gonna corner on that side. That's fine. I might have a off or something.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see that.
There.
Jamie.
I like this choice of turn.
Call for the
If
freeze of line, then bump
perchance
it out.
he
Half rock.
misjudges what weight he needs to throw, he's not going to further clutter up the middle.
Right.
You see a lot of teams play, say in this case the intern, crossing the center
Line's
line,
good, we
and then
can
they
bump it
accidentally
half
leave it
Top
12
forward,
just
yeah,
short,
yeah.
and now you've really plugged up the center, favoring the opponent.
We need good line here.
The trick, of course,
over the
is
freeze,
the
stay
amount of
close.
curl you're fighting against here.
Felt close to me.
Sweeper's calling a 6, which would be top 4 foot
Are you
on
sure
that
it's
line.
running?
So it will run
Just
till
freeze it.
about
Line's
the
good. It's on
Visions
you.
logo, and then start
Line's a
cutting.
little tight. Where are you?
Sweeper's calling line only now, so it does have the weight to bump it.
Whoa!
Look at this shot.
This is a
Jamie
very nice
Cooey
shot.
with a peach here in the 4th end to sit 1.
So now Saskatchewan is forced to freeze back to try to make the 2 as hard as possible. They have no alternative other than to cut down the rings. The unfortunate piece is they don't have any margin for error, because even if they come up 2 feet short, Jamie's going to have that exact same shot. There's plenty of room for that exact same out turn. So their only choice is to get onto that red one.
And if he's heavy, he leaves a pretty simple pocket for 2 for Northwest
Exactly,
Territories.
bounce off of it for a nice simple little hit.
But Dean's been good so far.
6-7.
Sweepers
Easy.
like it out of his hand,
Easy.
calling a 6-7, which would put it where they want it to be.
Easy.
I'd be a little nervous hearing 7 out of their hand.
Yeah, it might be a little bit optimistic. We'll see.
The general
running.
tendency is to call the hopeful weight, but it's looking close. It's not curling though.
Yeah,
Hard bar, go get shot.
Through the upright? No, just deep.
Well,
Just
if
deep.
he was 1 foot lighter, that was really close.
He may have gotten shot out of it, but that might not matter if Jamie can
More weight.
touch it a little bit.
Yeah, move it an inch and you get your 2.
Yeah, just an inch. Yeah, just back 4, I'm thinking, right? So it's similar weight. Similar weight. We're thinking here.
Yeah, that's an excellent example of how you can't take your
that's a hair
sweepers
too
out
much.
of your shots.
Yeah,
You know,
I like
you're
that.
only talking 2 feet, but let's say you threw it 4
Gonna be
feet
the same
less.
speed here, you think?
Then
or-
they can use directional sweeping to actually
It's
suck
pretty good,
it
eh?
farther over, more onto the rock as well.
I'll try it.
Yeah, and
It's the
arguably
same weight.
I'd
I
say
gotta
that
move 'em
this
in,
is
right?
a easier shot than what Jamie just threw. So probably it would have been better to
Once
be
we got good line, just go
top
on it,
8
guys.
and give Jamie a harder draw than this little
I'm gonna
tap
try to
here.
give you the similar throw here.
Yeah, it's generally not acceptable to air heavy. Sometimes, but not generally.
Jamie Cooey, his final stone of this
I got
fourth
more.
end,
I got max
looking to
weight.
move the Saskatchewan
Close,
stone
yes!
at about an inch to get 2
Whoa!
points.
Clean.
Must be close.
Whoa!
I'm reading the line as a little bit full.
Hanging out there.
Easy.
Megan Kohler trying to
Close.
make it curl.
Needs about a third of the rock to stick
He
around.
will touch it, but will he keep his shooter?
Get out.
No. So
Too
it's
heavy.
just a single for Northwest Territories. And it will be a 2-2 tie as we head to the fourth end break. We'll be back here from Canmore in the 2021 Canadian Mixed Curling Championships.
One might say I was born to overcome challenges. 2 months premature, in and out of the hospital, and a heart condition. My parents call me their miracle baby. As with all survivors, I searched for my place in this world, and I found it here. This pebbled ice is where I battle now, and at only 12, I am already a 5-year veteran of this sport. I have my sights set on the Olympics. I will push hard to get there. The only size that matters in this sport is the size of your dreams.
Sweep! Sweep! Hurry! Hurry! Hard! Hurry hard! Hard! Hurry hard! 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 Woo! We should really be curling.
This ice is everything. It's where I come to feel close to her, to feel whole. This building helped raise me when my mother no longer could. When I step on the ice, she steps with me. My dad is my rock. We're a team now, like the four of us when we step on the ice. People say that this isn't a contact sport, but that's not true. It contacts you where you need it the most.
The game with the ice, and the rocks, and the sweeping, and the yelling. Each game starts with a handshake. Then, 2 teams of 4 people take turns throwing 44-pound stones down a sheet of ice. Each team throws 8 rocks, and the team closest to the center after all the rocks are thrown will score the points. This process is repeated for 6 to 10 rounds until one team is victorious. It's just that simple. Or is it?
Back in Canmore at a 2-2 tie, the fourth end. We are in the championship pool of the 2021 Canadian Mixed Curling Championships. It has been a great battle so far between Northwest Territories' Jamie Cooey and the team from Saskatchewan, Dean Grindheim's rink from North Battleford. Darren McEwen alongside Gord Coppathorne. Gord, what would you tell each of these teams at the break if you were coaching them?
I would give them both the same advice, and that's to watch your weight. You have 2 accomplished sweepers on a sheet that will really do nicely for sweeping, so make sure you're throwing short of your target and let them win the game for you.
Yeah, we've seen some good weight control shots, but when the misses have happened, that's where they've been. They've just been a little up weight, wicking off maybe on the freeze or a draw attempt.
Well, absolutely, and on ice that curls this far, 4 feet, 5 feet heavy is a difference of 2 or 3 inches on where you're trying to get. So a freeze or anything like that is going to be quite detrimental.
This is championship pool here, and how this works is earlier mentioned, the crossover from the pool play earlier in the week. Pool A and B, the top 4 teams are now merged into one, and they bring their records with them. And the top 4 teams after that, this championship pool, will go into the playoffs. We have 2 other games happening right now. Ontario just picked up a big 2 steal to go up 4-1 on Manitoba at the break, and Quebec and New Brunswick are still playing their 4th end right now. It looks like Jean-Michel Menard and his team from Quebec are facing 1 on their final rock of the 4th end. We'll update you. You can find all the scores at curling.ca/scoreboard and find the draw. We also have the seeding pool that's happening, the games from that, which some of those happened earlier this morning and will happen throughout the next couple of days as well. But back here, Allison Ingram asked to draw around in her 2nd rock of this 5th end.
Yeah, Northwest Territories has created this staggered guard pair by accident, which whoever's behind it is happy with, because you can't run anything back. So we'll see who can actually get their rock into the 4-foot, but it was a small mistake, but one that you can hopefully use later.
I think there's room there.
Cole being asked to play a double takeout here. Backwards double takeout, hit the low one first, but it'll go.
Maybe got this one a little outside the target.
A little inside out with his delivery. Can't say that's too surprising, because thus far Jamie has thrown the same way, so maybe they're matching their releases for the benefit of their team. Good throw. Not quite enough curl.
Where's shot?
So Saskatchewan has
you-
hammer, so they are debating how
10?
to set this up. You could
Or
nose
board?
hit this, but you're going to leave the potential
Okay,
of a double.
board.
You could even do a, say, board weight hit and just spread everything around, push both blues out to the wings, which leaves the open path under those staggered guards.
Yep. Yep.
Cole Tenachuk.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, Cole is a avid, I'll even say maybe semi-professional at one point, disc golfer.
Good.
Great shot. Good curler, too, there. He went around Western Canada and competed in 5 PDGA. Those are Professional Disc Golf Association events. And out of those 5 events, he finished in the top 10 in 3 of them. And I think that's interesting because Team Nicholas Edin, they are avid at disc golf. It's a big Nordic, I think, sport. And they will often, at events, they were in Oakville earlier this year, I think, when they were even out here for one of the Grand Slam events. They did a little disc golf in their spare time. I don't know if there is any in Canmore, but I suspect there probably will be some in this region, given its love of, we'll call it regular golf.
There's a handful of them around that I've seen, Cochrane, Calgary, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's one out here in Canmore. Nice, simple sport with a minimal equipment expense.
Yeah, it's one that, you know, if you're curling somewhere and you want to just go out and do it, you can bring along the discs or the frisbees. If you check it out online, it's pretty cool. Seconds came to play, the Battle of the Coles. It's a close one right now. Cole Parsons making a really nice double there on his last.
So I think Saskatchewan got the outcome they were after. They knew they were going to set up a double, but the double results in a rollout. So now you compliments to the ice for sure.
For sure. I was talking to the team from Ontario at lunch this afternoon, and they were saying the ice has been great. You just have to get used to it. You have to believe it, I think, is a big thing, particularly if you're not used to, 6 feet of curl in some clubs.
Well, that's exactly what I would have said to teams before the games. Trust the curl, and if anything, over ice yourself a couple inches, because you're more likely to over curl than under curl.
Top 8. Where do you got?
Update you on that Quebec-New Brunswick game. It was New Brunswick who stole in the 4th end, so it's 2-1 lead for New Brunswick. New Brunswick comes into this game 4-2. Quebec is 5-1.
Here's another case where the weight's working against you. So there's that kiss of death. It is absolutely detrimental because now blue can cross the nose and actually roll in front of their own, and now you have a world of trouble. Whereas if you're 2 feet lighter, even a hair short of the blue one, they can't get you out easily.
We say it like it's easy, but it's especially on such fast ice here.
Oh, for sure. When you're talking 15-second draws, and a lot of these teams, like Northwest Territories doesn't have a lot of rinks to play in. So in talking to the coach of Kerry Galusha's team, that ice time is so hard to find.
Yeah.
And you're probably not going to have 15-second ice.
Yeah.
So where do you go to get used to having to throw halfway guards equaling a draw?
Yeah. I will say Margot has been very active this season already, playing in a number of events, including, of course, the Home Hardware pre-trials in Liverpool. So getting used to that arena ice, I feel like she's probably in mid-season form when a lot of curlers out here maybe aren't yet. So,
and that's a huge benefit
for
if you've
sure.
had that chance.
Yeah, they're 5-1 for a reason, and it's I'm sure a big reason is Margot's play.
So you can see here that the teams are electing to pick up the weight to push it through the curl because they're not willing to risk over curling with those guards. There's a little bit of air now, so they can get away with more of a, call it a 10.5 kind of weight, and then you might generate that. A perfect roll here would be to stick out about a quarter of a rock under those guards.
Sherry Just, familiar first name in Saskatchewan curling. She mentions she grew up enjoying watching Sherry Anderson, Sherry Madonna, who originally from Saskatchewan as well, and Kelly Law from British Columbia were 3 of her childhood idols.
So there's an excellent shot. They've cut off the draw towards that blue one. There's nothing they can hit. So Jamie is now being forced to try to outdraw the opponent's rocks.
Where did it end up?
Saw him make a beautiful draw in that last end to set up the single point. Pressure here though, without hammer, he's going to need to make a good one.
Not a lot of real estate to work with if he's trying to get shot. But at the very least, cutting out the other blue one is nice. So, you know, a full 8 foot to tee line would be an acceptable outcome anywhere in there.
Maybe a little more.
Oh, he must have been listening to me. Decided 2 more inches of ice. Yeah, running into the guards here would be absolutely devastating.
Where is it?
Being open, it's hard to hit because it'll all slash into those other blue ones.
Hard line! Hard, guys!
Really got to go to get this. Calling for help from Margot to come out.
Hide a piece.
Might be able to tuck a piece of it around.
Go.
So there you go. That's
Better.
acceptable.
Yeah.
Your second shot, and they can't really hit it because it's all just going to pile into that blue one. You can use it again later on your next one. That was a good team shot. Not quite ideal, but certainly good enough. Now Saskatchewan is also going to be forced to try to draw outwards.
Where do you put this? Do you go around the other way?
Well, you can come on the in-turn side, the clockwise turn. But it's nerve-wracking to leave that red one mostly exposed like that. I actually wouldn't mind tapping the blue one down, say 2 feet onto the button. So if you were to take this blue one and push it to here and leave your other one here, I would not be against that, because then this red one, that's a tough angle to try to get into this rock here, because it's almost going to be underneath of it. So if you could push that blue one on an angle, almost directly under the red one, you would make life very difficult on Jamie.
Let's see if we can hear what they're...
Still might have the double.
Yeah.
They're coming down that path.
Just like top 4.
Yeah. He recognizes he's playing a
even
very
frozen
talented
here
skip here.
wouldn't be a bad thing. Because that red hit's likely going to spin down off the back of the blue one, and you may still sit shot rock.
But whichever you like. The tap on the blue and getting in front of his isn't... I hate to make it for him, right, if it doesn't curl.
Yeah, that's kind of the only thing I like. This way, if we freeze it right on it.
Yeah.
I suspect Jamie's going to be making use of that red one, regardless of where they put this. Try to make it as hard as possible.
Would you ever guard here? Would it be silly to guard the red, or...?
You could, but then he's just going to come down this pass with a draw and cut you down.
Cut your scoring area.
Yeah, you're going to be completely cut off from anything more than one.
Dean Grindheim with his first, having hammer in this 5th end.
Line's good.
Line's looking good.
Hard.
Now they're just trying to get the weight to push it a decent amount.
Go. Whoa.
Wait, that's great.
All right, nose frozen.
Great shot.
So now Jamie can slash that red one, but it's likely going to bounce hard and shoot down out of the house. So that was a well-placed rock.
Yeah, it's decision time.
Imagine this rock coming in here and just kind of chapping down into this area. Like you're going to be hitting it thin no matter what.
Yeah.
But at least you can push yourself into a better position.
Let's see
If
what
I
we
make
hear
the tap,
from
we're looking
Jamie.
at 4 if he makes a double. Well, you should roll out, right? Maybe we're still looking at 3, maybe.
Can you ever play the tap and try and show a little bit of weight? Like
If I make the draw here, I don't really know what he's got, though. I don't know what he has. He might have the double if it over curls, right? But the tap he should roll out, right, with his shooter. Even if I just get it behind the 5, eh? This draw is just a total guess.
I see the tap. I know it's kind of a prayer shot.
Well, I'm just
prayer
worried that
shot.
we bring forward the move. I don't see that at all. No.
So they're basically debating between drawing to the back of the 4 foot or, like I was suggesting, pushing your red one in. So option 1 is draw back here and hope you can't do anything. Just kind of straight down here. Option 2 is to come into this one and redirect it in here somewhere.
Right to here.
Both are tough.
Leave him a draw for 2.
That's what
I
they're going
think
to...
we're either trying to make it perfect or we're trying to make him draw for 2. Well, then I'm out
The
here.
nice thing is those two blue ones, no
He's
matter
gotta
how you
go-
do it, are going
he's
to
gotta go wide.
direct your rock towards the forefront.
I'm not going to be like those, so. What do you think in room for me here?
So I think
that
he's
enough?
opting for the tap.
I would suggest that with that ice he is. The risk would be to see,
go,
hey, this is
sliver
a
more,
tap. I
maybe?
can get away with being a little bit heavy. But then, as we've seen, you won't get the curl you're after. So you really got to commit to the right weight for the ice you've called.
We saw him kind of a little
Just see
deep
line weight, guys.
on his last, or a little heavy on his last tap attempt in the fourth end, but he made a beautiful draw on the first one in the fourth. But he's faced no bigger shot in this game than this one right here. Jamie Cooey, his final stone of this fifth end, looking to tap his rock to the 4 foot.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa.
I would be happy to hear back
Whoa!
four, because that's what he called for.
Close. Whoa.
Sweeper saying back button
Whoa,
now.
let it die. Whoa. No, just let it work. Hard on red. Hard.
So a chance here for Saskatchewan to score 3.
Free draw.
I like this
Always
back.
makes it comfortable for yourself.
So we had here.
I would suggest he either was a little wide on the
get it
broom or
past
had a
our
little
blue,
too
right?
much broom, but he threw it the way he planned.
Yeah,
If
a great
ever
way.
curls
They
or
were
taps
calling
on
back
7,
button the whole
I don't
way.
wanna come close to that.
T-line. So Dean Grindheim is going to take the same turn he just played. What you know, throw it.
Okay. I took about probably 5-6 inches more because we got to get around ours, right?
Morning, but I wouldn't be banking on that.
Saskatchewan looking to put a 3 on the board.
Go for T. Line's good. Keep it out. Keep it out.
Big team shot here.
Keep it out.
Looking good.
Awfully close for weight. And their line is great as well. You see Cole Tenachuk will just sweep it in, and that is 1-2-3 for Saskatchewan. And they'll break this game open with a 5-2 lead in the team from the Twin Rivers Curling Club in North Battleford, Saskatchewan.
Thanks.
Very good end for Saskatchewan there. Called and executed pretty much every shot as they planned. Certainly missed minorly on the right side each time. So now they're up 3. We'll see if they decide to slide them into the house or not. Yeah, there you go. Top 4.
Both these teams are going to be turning around right after this game and playing again tonight, 7 Mountain. Saskatchewan will take on Manitoba later tonight, and it will be Northwest Territories taking on Ontario, and that will be back on this sheet, so you'll get a double dose of the team from Yellowknife today.
So Saskatchewan's
6 is
elected to
good.
not throw guards and play, which makes sense. You're up 3. No
Yep,
reason
top
to
four's
give
good.
Jamie anything to play with.
Yep. Good.
Nice draw weight there by Allison Ingram.
Nicely executed.
Halfway.
So now Jamie's going to throw up a corner guard or two and try to bring the wings of the sheet into play.
Just the long one. Let's get over curl a mile here. Just long. No, just long, just long,
Here?
just long.
No,
That's fine.
Okay, nice corner guard.
Megan Kohler puts it right on the Canmore Brewery and Distilleries logo. Allison wanted to thank her parents who traveled many miles, offering a lot of opportunity for her to play at the competitive
Where are ya?
level and compete at this event.
you gotta go.
Her and Cole are partners off the ice and on the ice as well. And they own an acreage just outside of
Gotta go.
North Battleford, Saskatchewan.
Good.
There's 2 very well
She's had a
executed
great,
shots.
yeah, Allison played a great game today.
Top 8.
Yeah, you really can't ask for anything more. Top 4, tight garden line. Jamie's just going to try to create some angles that will help him out.
You got room.
You got all kinds of room right now.
I suspect we won't see him playing a whole lot of hits for
Let
the
it
rest
break.
of this game.
Let it break.
Keep rocks around.
Still got nothing. We're not even going to be on it. No. Just let it work. Hard. You cannot bounce. Hard. Good judge. Good judge. Good.
Nice shot there by Megan.
Very nice. Very nice. Airing on the safe side. Saskatchewan's forced to just put more rocks in the way. If they can get a little bit past the nose, they'll be happy.
Cole is a journeyman instrumentation technologist for PTW
Come over here
Canada.
then.
So they're currently providing maintenance
Back eight.
support for facilities in the North Battleford area.
Yeah. Hard.
No. Okay.
That makes things a hair awkward for them, pushing it more frozen onto their other blue one. Jamie now has the opportunity to roll anywhere onto this inside half of the sheet. He has two guards to hide behind, rocks for backing. He's pretty happy with the potential here.
Whoa.
Jamie
Whoa.
calling off the
Clean.
sweep right away,
Yes.
but the nature of this ice, never give up on it.
Whoa. Whoa.
Go for the long roll under the corner.
And it will hang on.
That's a perfectly good shot. Saskatchewan is looking like they may go after that.
We got to go here.
All right, leave the little red one alone.
Manitoba was held to a single in the fifth end, so it's now 4-2 Ontario with Hammer playing, sorry, in the fifth end, and they're now playing the sixth end. Still
Easy.
2-1 in the Quebec
Easy.
New Brunswick game as they play the sixth.
Are you 7? If you're 7, go. Yep. Yeah,
Big
then.
draw
then.
today for determining standings and massive playoff implications already on Thursday afternoon.
Hard.
With so many of these teams with just one loss playing each other.
They almost had a great audible there.
Yeah.
They decided heavy, let's go behind it all. Little late on that decision. Now Jamie has the opportunity to freeze another one in there, and while blue might be sitting 2, it's not comfortable.
Line's good. Clean it. Whoa. Room. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Wait only. Whoa. No, it's got a curl. No, it's heavy. You just got to let it dig. No. It's got to dig all the way.
Interesting dialogue there. Nice to hear them communicating weights and outcomes.
Yeah, both
Right in
these
here
teams
is
have been
good.
really engaged, all 8 players on the ice, in the weight calls and the strategy.
four.
And there's a reason they're at the top of the leaderboard, these two teams, having a great week here in Canmore.
It's a real gut check for Team Saskatchewan here to allow all of these rocks to stay in play.
Easy.
Angles are essential at this point.
Easy. Room. Curl. Got a curl.
So this is a scenario where they're throwing a little light and sweeping it down.
Curl. Go. Good sweep.
Well done by the front end on that sweep. So Jamie has
Try to run
a
it,
few
does the
different
hair high to
potentials.
tick
and
this?
It's getting to the point where that center guard is now causing him some grief. So I can understand why he's contemplating running this back.
Don't even just.
Worst
like
case
normal.
scenario, if he opens it up, he's still going to
you
have
nose
a great
it, it's not the end of
shot
the
on his
world.
next one.
Does a hair high to tick this guy?
So he's
anything else,
contemplating running it back to try to catch about a quarter of the blue one at the top of the pile. So then you'll get at least 2,
like
if
that.
not 3. So if you hit on here, this blue goes that way, a
this.
blue goes over there, this kind of
the
moves,
hair
that
high.
goes that way. You're going to get a lot of blue rocks moving if you get just a
firm.
hair
Don't
on
let
the
them bomb it. Just
high side
feel.
of this tight guard.
Jamie saying, don't bomb it, just peel. Here in the 6th end.
Take out
to sit 2.
Take out 3 blue rocks effectively because they're outside of that other red one, sitting 2 in the top of the 4-foot. Excellent shot.
Their redstone is also the 4th shot behind
10?
a pile of granite on the
9?
right side. Great shot.
Right on the nose. What do you like?
Got reaction even from the Saskatchewan fans there.
So now they're only sitting 2. Okay. So Saskatchewan just has to be calm and keep moving rocks out of play, and then they're still only looking at giving up a pair. But if they get carried away and start overthrowing things, they could easily give up a 3 here.
Yes! Whoa! Yep! Yes! Hard!
Jams it, but doesn't stick it in the house, so that's not too bad.
Kind of unfortunate to lose that one at the back because it was keeping that other red one out of counting. So now the 3 is certainly a potential.
Yep. Hard.
He's
whoa. Curl.
got a good shot going here.
I don't know.
Would have liked to have split the house, but he's just going to basically get a nose hit. A nice double opportunity now available. Technically, you might actually get all 3 reds moving if you hit this correctly. They really would have liked that red one to roll 2, 3, 4 feet farther away from the center line.
Peel. Yeah.
So he's throwing peel, knowing that he can get anywhere between 2 and 3 red rocks moving.
Backswing there from Dean Grindheim.
Inside of his broom a bit.
Sherry just calling the sweep. They got to go hard on this.
Nose hit, little roll out even.
I just slid tight.
Think back to that first shot by Marco Fleming, how it turned this end around and just set up a multiple chance here for Cooey.
I didn't want to push it back.
If I'm Jamie, I'm almost inclined to leave that red one out in the side there so that you're not going to give Saskatchewan an out clause.
So
I don't mind the roll, but let's say, for example, you roll it to the right on the button. He could just freeze to it, which would take a lot away. But Jamie can throw the weight to bounce it out. But if you left it over there, Saskatchewan is going to have a very difficult shot no matter what.
So, Gord, what would you do instead of this hit and roll?
Well, I don't mind the hit. But what I wouldn't want to do is leave it too cute in the middle. You could set up another double. You could roll too far, give him backing for something else. I don't mind rolling to the middle, but you give him potential.
As long as you're saying, as long as you stay in the 12-foot with this shot, you should be.
I would enjoy that. You're sitting 3, completely spread out. Yeah. He's probably going to be forced to try to draw the 4-foot, and if he misses that, you're getting 4.
Jamie Cooey off to start with. Needs to come back to stick in the rings. Megan Kohler trying to make it curl into the stone. Must be close.
He's got the nose hit.
Exactly as he drew it up. So Northwest Territories sitting 3.
Just a hit and roll.
So that double is really tough. That is flat and long. It's there, but tough. So he's considering just a straight hit and roll so that he can come and just put a rocks down here somewhere. That is, by the book, about a 20 to 30% chance of making. That is a hard shot to do. But at this point in time, when you're up 3, you're going to remove something.
I'm going to try it.
There's no harm in trying it. You could just straight draw and try to just park a rock back here.
But if you ever don't get there.
If you don't get it there, it's a 4 against
it's a 4, and the momentum is already, you felt the momentum shift with Marco's run back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the hit and roll, I think the key to this is make that red one go away and leave your blue somewhere that Jamie has to deal with it.
So all the pressure was on Jamie Cooey last end. It's now shifted to Dean Grindheim's last stone here facing 3. Cooey having hammer in this 6th end.
Whoa! Whoa!
He doesn't have a lot of the rock.
They jump it too soon.
No.
It's thin.
Oh, just through the backside of that one.
A good pass here.
An open draw for Jamie Cooey to get right back in this and tie it up.
What's that path I threw 2 ends ago? Is that it? Three post.
Well, you've got 12 feet of house to draw to and 1 sort of guard.
See that same path?
They're on it early.
Hard early, Cole. Hard early, Cole.
The nice thing there is they're using the first half of the travel of the rock to keep it straight.
Just keep it going, yeah.
There's no reason to flirt with the guards.
They still
that
do.
said, they're sweeping like crazy to get to the house.
They need to get a full chunk of the 12. It looks like they'll be there. A little closer than maybe they wanted to, but keeps the front end warm and the good team effort there. But that was a excellent end by the Northwest Territories, and I go back, Gord, to that run back that Margot Fleming made double to set that 3-score up.
Well, it just shows you the power of the run back. You gotta use that weapon when appropriate, but it was a fantastic shot, getting all the blue rocks moving and creating opportunities.
Mention we'll be back this evening, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. It will be Ontario's Mike McLean under the Ottawa Curling Club. They're 5-1 right now. They are up 2 points on Manitoba in the other game, but they're going to be taking on our feature sheet tonight at 7. They'll be taking on Jamie Cooey, who, of course, right now is 5-1 and in a tight battle with Saskatchewan. You can subscribe to Curling Canada's YouTube channel. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss that game. Not totally great at time zones once I get out of my own time zone, so just hit the bell and we'll deliver it to you. You can see there Ontario, Manitoba in that middle sheet. Ontario throwing blue, and we have Quebec, New Brunswick on the closest sheet there. Quebec is throwing red and debating their call. And a good shot of the crowd we have here in Canmore on this Remembrance Day. Should mention our earlier draw today in the seating pool. The teams stopped to observe a moment of silence for the Remembrance Hour here. And a reminder of keeping things in perspective in what we're doing out here. It is just a game. It's an important game, and they're all playing. It could be scary, but the 7th especially is. You're just so focused on what you don't want to do sometimes, or you're just thinking, the first, second, third end, you're just, okay, I'm going to throw up a guard, I'm going to put one in the house, but it just feels that pressure of the 7th and 8th end feels more as a lead than it does early in the game.
And those long guards are actually quite unpleasant to throw. It's hard to judge as a sweeper to get it just over. It's hard as a thrower to get going that slow. It's actually quite a difficult shot to throw if you don't practice it a lot.
Corner guard there by Allison Ingram.
So we're going to get another situation where, Cooey might get his center guard up, but Saskatchewan and Dean are going to have a chance to go under their corner guard. That's basically how they set their 3 up that other end. So they got a good chance of starting here.
Better?
Still requires some help, but it will be
Corner guard right now.
somewhere in the center guard area. Cooey out to get some exercise again.
Good.
Good shot.
National championship. These are 8-end games. We've had a few extra ends this week already as well. But both teams, it is fully exposed on the other side.
A few inches simply isn't enough clearance on a guard.
Yeah, look at well.
Trying to know is there
A full
rolling?
three-quarters of a rock showing.
But cleared the guard by, I'd say, 2 to 3 inches almost.
So if he's attacking this with, say, a 10.5, you might actually be able to bounce a little bit farther under the guard.
Whoa! Whoa! No!
Little in-out delivery.
Megan.
Out into the straighter spot of the ice.
Gotta go to stick.
Got a piece.
Gotta go
He's
to
definitely
stick.
going to hit it.
I think he's staying.
Good.
Very nice weight control. Like that is an extremely
Good weight.
useful weight.
Yeah.
You see a lot of European teams taking advantage of that
10 or
style
9.
of weight for hits because you don't need to hit it hard.
Yeah, and you heard out of his hand, Jamie obviously indicated he was maybe a bit full
Okay,
to the broom, but
I'm good with that.
because he didn't throw normal up weight, he was able to control it and keep it in the house.
Does give an opportunity for the hit and roll back.
Go!
This one's a little on the stronger side of the weights. So it's
Will
going
it
to
come
ride
back?
through the curl. It's just going to go clean through it and roll out.
Okay.
Great example of those two shots, the difference of the weight control and what can happen.
Jamie's electing to stack guards. It's not a free guard zone rule or 5 rock rule any longer, but he's still going to stack his guards, which is a good idea. Throw guards until you have no choice left.
Clean. Hard, everything.
Jamie's getting his workout. It's on the other side this time, this week with the slider.
So now it's coming clean out the other side. Well, I don't think they're going to get by.
Now you got to make sure you roll off
Yeah,
it.
roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. So maybe just down.
Well, you've made a double wide corner guard. So that's not the end of the world.
I heard Dean say to the ladies that it was maybe a bit down on his weight on that one.
It seemed
Halfway?
less than his first one. So if that's what he was expecting, I could understand that. So now Jamie's just going to throw up a guard. Keep the middle of the sheet busy, and hopefully by the last rock at the end, you're just going to force him one. Jamie would be more than happy to go into the last end down one with hammer.
Whoa, then. Just clean. Whoa, it's going to have to finish up a bit. Line's okay, actually. Clean.
About this before, these are very
now it's gotta
difficult
stop.
shots to make on this ice.
Light clean it.
With the amount of curl, finding the break point.
Whoa, let it stop, let it stop, let it stop. There we go.
Great guard by Margot.
Excellent guard. I suspect Saskatchewan will just keep things clean to the best as they can, trying to figure out a way to blank the end. They could theoretically go into the 4-foot, but that's a bit audacious when you're in a tight game. You could throw another center guard. I wouldn't do that because then you're just going to tempt Saskatchewan into beating you to the 4-foot. I agree with Jamie in this case. I think first
like
one
the
to the
spot where that
4-foot
one
is feeling pretty good.
They can't bump the red
They
and
just know how to throw
still
the
be,
curl.
well, they could bump it and still be in the house, but not nose, so.
Yeah, I don't even mind back 4.
You'd like to get a bit of a Colleen Jones Christmas tree
Christmas
going
tree,
here.
yeah.
Show the outer portion of all of your rocks, so everything Saskatchewan throws is rolling into the open.
Room.
Colleen Jones is a two-time champion at this
What?
event.
Good.
Back in 1999 and then 1993. Those were also the years she started racking up
Hard.
many of her Scotties
Yeah,
wins.
great line. Come on, Cole. Come on, Cole.
Margot
Somebody's-
Fleming
Hard.
asked to draw in here. Not
So
quite
that's
buried.
That's an absolutely excellent example of throwing short of your target and let your sweepers put it somewhere. So you've made a fairly nice Christmas tree.
10.
Technically, there's a double there. But even if you do make it, you're going to be really high, which Jamie is still going to be able to take advantage of the full house to play with.
You saw in that shot. It's what we mean by Christmas tree. If you're looking at it kind of from the top down, sticking the branches out, and Sherry Just is looking to trim one of those branches off, maybe both if she can.
Sit down.
So get one branch.
Yeah, she'll get the top of the tree.
Good, that's good.
Again, really, Saskatchewan want to make sure that at worst they give up. Here is a steal of
Hit
one.
it, right? Or
They
you
just don't want to make sure they don't get into a messy situation of giving up any
back
more
to
than
here.
that, or getting
three-quarters buried,
unnecessarily
quarter buried.
forced. If they get the chance for the blank, that's ideal.
Yeah.
Jamie's got an opportunity.
Even if he thinks that I
He
might be
has
able
to
get it,
decide, am I trying to get a steal
I like that
or
control.
really just...
So he's he knows his rocks. He's got them figured out which one he's going to throw. If you're new to this, you don't have to throw, as long as you're throwing the right color. It doesn't matter which order you throw them in, but probably this one he thinks maybe is a little straighter, Gord. Why
Well,
he's
it's
using
also
it?
a combination of the way he's throwing them. He's playing with the quote-unquote briar release, and inside out with a decent amount of rotation to straighten it out. So his is not curling much compared to everyone else, but he's used to calling it that way.
And he'll get the hit and roll on top of his other.
Yeah, or
Not a bad spot for it because the
roll
one
probably
side
jam
double,
it
the
on.
natural double is rolling away from the guards. The
probably
inside double is going to be probably too thin to keep the shooter around. You know, you might be able to get away with, say, a
yeah.
control weight and then keep
I
it
think
on
if
the
we
outer half of
played
the
the
house,
double that, we
maybe.
were probably rolling to the open.
Possibly worth a chance, worth a try.
So play this out. Dean plays the double here on the outside.
So if you were to come down,
8-5.
But if he was to play the double and roll
Maybe a little more.
away, does Jamie then draw around those
Maybe a little
guards?
that's a
Try-
very good question. That's totally now your preference.
Yeah.
You could throw it in underneath those guards to try to force the one,
Yeah,
or
that's
you
what we're
could
playing.
just hit it and say, you
Yeah.
know what, I'm okay with trying to steal in the extra end.
Yeah.
It's
To
your
make
team
either way,
philosophy at that
Yeah.
point.
You're rolling out if you make the double, or if not, 8-5. Yeah.
They think they roll out if they made the double. Is he talking about the outside?
It would appear that they're just trying to do the natural double and roll away.
Yeah.
If they roll out, it's not ideal. They would like to stay in play to make Jamie make a decision.
Right. Skip from the
Yep.
Twin Rivers Curling Club in North Battleford, Saskatchewan with his first rock. And it's a pistol. And will he hang on? Watch this rock spin. Oh, it didn't spin. See, Cole
Where's
was really hoping for that to spin back into the house, but
Like that'll never hit the guard, right?
the camera could be working against us, but I would suspect that one's out.
watch this here on the replay. Cole's trying to make it.
It's never going to take off. We never go behind either one.
It
of them,
really
right?
didn't. We've seen a few of them really take a lunge at the end and warp back into the house, but that one did not.
Yeah, so Saskatchewan would love for that one to stay biting on the house, because Cooey probably would have hit it. And then you would have had a shot
Not quite as quick
for
here,
two
or
if he
what?
didn't, you know what I mean? So
Is it fast
by this
here,
now,
or-
he's got a free draw to the 4 foot and a good chance to force one.
Yeah, pretty low pressure shot here for Jamie, but if
think
he
you
can
go
make
last.
it, it would be a big one.
You can go last, Margo. Margo.
Saskatchewan will have a decent shot on their last one, no matter what.
We can be back 80.
But it's certainly going to be an intricate draw.
Just clean it till we got line.
Jamie telling his front end, it's okay if we're back 8, we can use that.
Just 5, 6. No, you're better. You're better than that. Clean. Easy. Line's real good. Clean. It's got to move a bit. Clean.
I can just hear it in Jamie's voice.
Cole,
He's
hold road.
really fired up for this.
You got to go. Cole's rock. Cole.
15:10
Cole, you
was the
gotta get in
time,
there.
so they got to go on this.
You got to get in there for weight.
Well, we were getting 15 to 2
gotta go.
earlier in the game, so
You got to go. You got to go.
tightened
You
up
got
a
to go.
little bit.
Oh, it's pretty well. Maybe I can see maybe a little fraction of it. There's a good view of it.
That's enough to make a tough
It's a
shot for
teaser.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
If we're drawn,
Never have Megan
we'll take
Super
it
Bowl
over
draws.
here.
I could totally understand them taking a run at it, because then worst case, you're down
yeah.
one with hammer.
Yeah.
You actually have the potential
was
for
like
a
a
blank,
10.
so that's probably what most people would end up doing. But he's
like
content
they're-
with taking one and coming home without hammer.
Interesting.
How do you want to play it? You want to draw for one, or you want to?
Let's hear what
Try the
was
blank.
here between Cole and Dean.
Would you rather be one up?
The age-old question.
I'm good either way. What do you guys like?
Yeah, what do you want?
Shot to have hammer in the 8th end, right?
Pretty
if
much.
you miss it, you're going to have hammer. If you make it, and you roll out, which presumably you'll have hammer. If you make the draw, you're relinquishing hammer and only up 1. So
there is the potential you could hit it and stay in play if you throw a 10.5 or 11.5, but it's not likely.
Needs to play it tight to the guard.
Whoa!
Picking the Northwest Territories stone out. Has he got it?
Not much.
No, it will be a steal of 1 and a 6-5 Northwest Territories lead as we head to 8, but Saskatchewan retains the hammer as we begin the 8th end. Ontario has broken open their game with another 3 points taken in the 6th end. It's now a 7-2 lead for the team from Ottawa. And right now, Quebec is up 3-2 on New Brunswick as they play the 7th end. Low-scoring game, but every time I've looked over there, it's not been indicative of the amount of rocks that have been played, Gord. It's been pretty busy on the sheet C.
Yeah, our middle sheet of Ontario and Manitoba's looked like mixed doubles every end. All the rocks down the center line with 3 or 4 frozen. I was watching that last end, and Manitoba had one nicely tucked in, but Ontario bounced it out for their 3.
Yeah, if you're anywhere if you're in Calgary or anywhere in southern Alberta and you get a chance to come out here this weekend, you're due for some great curling. This draw in particular had some great shots, but also, we have James Grattan, Jean-Michel Menard, Marie-France LaRouche, names that you've seen at Scotties and Briars, and of course in our feature here, Jamie Cooey.
And a shout out to Canmore Curling Club. The ice is playing really well, which allows them to make these intricate ends.
But it comes down for this game to the 8th end.
Hard!
So Jamie needs to at least protect a 1.
Finish
You'd like to win it this way, but you're also happy knowing you can force a 1 and still have a good chance to win
right to center. Gotta go.
Nice, fairly tight center guard.
Like here.
If you go back to key shots of this game, there's been a few, but I think for Saskatchewan, it was a great shot by Dean on his last in the 5th end to draw for 3. Basically needed almost a piece of the 4-foot. He made it, and I think kind of the key shot of this game so far has been a great game for Saskatchewan.
Whoa!
So the only thing I would say is, if I was working with this team, I would have expected them to know what they were going to do in this case already. They should have had a team pattern for, hey, we like to split the guard or we like to go to the side. It just would have been nice to not have to have that discussion. It's reassuring to just do.
Just down.
Just a little light. And that will be two center guards now for Saskatchewan to work with or deal with, depending on what way you want to put it. We'll see how the end shapes up. But
well, Jamie is the team without hammer, so they start the end with control. So deal with is probably the right term in this case, because if they put 1 in the top 4-foot, you're now going to have to react to those guards for probably 4 of your remaining 7 rocks.
Clean it! Oh, running! It looks good!
A spot we really haven't seen that much in this game coming this far out.
Line, room.
Sorry, that was good. The last game, they were coming off that wall really sharp.
Yeah.
We had lots of calls where the broom was outside of the house and it was still coming fully into the center.
Good shot.
Great
so
shot.
good recognition on that line call.
Megan Kohler puts one top button around the center guard.
So we still have the 5-rock rule in place, so they're electing to just try to corner freeze this one to create hopefully an advantage in the angles later.
Gotta go!
Getting tight to that middle guard.
Gotta go!
Weight is a hair on the light side.
Gotta rub it off.
I think I jinxed Allison. She had such a great game. Those two, it's too good. Just a little light compared to what she'd been throwing. And we've seen, the game this morning, it slowed down a little bit in the 7th and 8th, but yeah,
Judging by your split on that last end, I would say it's probably a quarter second
If you go
heavier
here,
than it
he
was
makes
before.
this.
And a quarter second is about 3
Lot
or
of
4
blues
feet,
there.
so that's probably about what Allison
What's
just
that?
missed that way.
Here?
So they've created a
You like
corner
that or
guard,
high?
which is never a bad thing. The other blue one's sort of corner guard.
Whoa, we gotta go. It's got to curl to get by this corner.
Sweepers
Whoa,
on
where?
nothing on this yet. Lots
It's,
is what
got
Megan's
lots of
saying.
weight.
Whoa.
They're still
No,
on that
just let it
blue.
dig and curl.
It's going to push the blue one in. That's an unforced error,
Okay, cool.
unfortunately. So now they're looking at how can they get rid of as many guards as possible. They are not helping them. But those angles don't work very well either.
No. In fact, it might ricochet the red off the blue. But do you take it one at a time now? Can you run the one on the guard on
You
the
can do
right
that.
into?
Roll here is great.
Probably not. I don't think you can
Like
see
9?
enough of it to run it into the one in the house. Risk is too if you just jam
8.
it or
Okay.
Yeah,
keep your blue there.
It's early enough in the game. Your
peel.
target is to open
Just-
the middle
yeah.
up. Maybe Cooey puts it in a spot that makes a double peel later more
Whoa.
likely.
Whoa! Whoa!
He's pushed this
Nothing
through the
yet.
curl a little bit.
Got a chunk of it.
Yeah,
Curl.
get rid of one for
Okay.
sure.
Sit down.
Would have liked to have stopped there. So
Good roll
Jamie still has
there.
the benefit of a rock in the top 4.
Let's go here.
I don't
think so.
think I'd be worrying about that blue one just yet, but I could see why he might. I think I would keep piling up these center guards until they make a double peel, and then maybe get rid of that other blue one to try for an extra end.
Protect your
Whoa!
one against the two.
You
What do you
have a better than 50% chance of winning the game right now, so I would stick with that plan for now.
Clean, yeah!
Sweepers calling top 8,
Yes!
top 4, which is where they want it to be.
Hard!
Line's getting
Come
tight.
on, Margo. Whoa. Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep.
Very
Kohler and
nice shot.
Fleming with a great sweep to get that by.
Good shot.
Nice shot.
Very nice shot.
Peel.
So still cleaning up the middle. Potential of getting multiple red ones moving. I don't think you'll get them all out of the house, but get them moving.
No.
Nothing on this yet.
A little inside out again, so
Got a piece of it. Oh, almost got the other one too. Good shot by goaltender Chuck. And a
now
high
Jamie
five
may
from
go
his
after
girlfriend.
that blue one. He may be thinking, you know what? This is looking like I'm not going
You
to
gotta
steal.
get rid of this guy now.
Yeah.
They should.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yep. Hard. Whoa. Megan.
I'm just
Make sure you're past the front blue.
Cool. Whoa.
Interesting. 'Cause
Well, that's kind of a tailor-made double, but you're gonna have the blue rock
Yeah.
somewhere you can play off of.
Yeah, they're not gonna make
We
the
have one timeout.
roll and double necessarily here.
So blue could actually preference the roll over the double. So you could decide
worry about
to come
Yeah.
down, play
We
the
wanna kill
inside, and
both?
roll here, which is actually under a guard.
Doesn't
This
matter
red
if
one
that-
is likely just going to squirt back here somewhere. That is probably what you have to do in order to generate a 2. You could
Wow.
push the red ones behind the T line even, but I don't think that's where you want to
and
go
roll.
right now.
Okay.
So
it's-
I would be playing the roll under the guard, leave one red there, and
Yeah,
Jamie's
that's okay.
going to
The
have
other way
to
is-
face the
but
fact that a 2 is
We can
back
go this
in
way
play.
too.
Yeah, you hear
But
Dean also contemplating if they roll the
Okay.
other way.
yeah, we'll go for here. What weight do you like?
I prefer the roll to the skips left because that one red one is likely going to squirt downward, as opposed to if you roll to the right, you're leaving the lower red in the top of the 4
Yeah,
foot.
you might not even get both reds out even if you're rolling to the right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're just simply going to roll across the
Yeah,
bottom red
yeah.
one.
Good team discussion. They all bought in on it. They thought about the options, but they all agreed that this is the right call.
And you know, if you happen to be full, the double takeout is okay.
We have a final on sheet B. Ontario picking up their 6th win to go to 6.
But you're still in a good spot to at least tie the game.
You have a lot of room to work with here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're going to draw, right? 2 guards. Fight the force, perfect. Top 8's good.
I'm a bit shocked on this choice of turn, because if you go the other way and you were hair light, you're leaving a center guard. But he must understand the curl or the line better out here, which is fine.
This is the path where Jamie himself made a beautiful freeze to generate a point in the 4th end. But this one is all over the guard early.
We lost it already, guys. Hard!
It's going to come almost to the nose. Is it just light on that board?
Yep.
Looks like it was.
I would say it's more steering the rock a little bit, trying so hard to get the curl in a straighter half of the ice that you probably just got it going early.
I think this way.
You got the center guard out of it, so that's something.
Yeah.
Even if red puts this one top 4 foot, you will have a way to react and hopefully manage the outcome to just 1.
Room! Room!
So Saskatchewan is going to be happy with anything in the top part of the 4 foot to secure their tie at the least. Except for its right.
Straight!
That is still hanging on that guard. It's the second time this end a team's been caught. Or sorry, second time in this game a team's been caught in that path.
Yes.
Not quite getting over.
It was earlier this end, wasn't it, when they pushed the blue one back into the house by accident?
I think too in the 6th end it was maybe Saskatchewan as well that had a similar result.
So Jamie's got that draw again. Now his inside-out delivery is actually going to help him out here, because they don't have a lot of sheet to work with to get around that long red guard. So his rock will ride straight a little longer and then pick up that hard curl, which is going to do him justice out here.
I heard Jamie say her rock did something weird, meaning Margot's last one. So don't know if it picked something up or if it just did something weird.
That's skip speak for it didn't do what it was supposed to, but I don't know why.
Yeah. Saskatchewan has a few guards to work with if they needed to play any sort of run back later on. Nothing is overlapped. That's the saving grace for them, at least on this. If they do need to play anything, either a tap or a run back. Jamie Cooey looking to bury his first one in this 8th end. He's leading by 1 without hammer.
Certainly not heavy, but they got 2 sweepers giving it their all, so there's should get into the house.
3 sweepers now if Margot. Oh, they buy?
Yeah, they're by.
They're by.
And biting.
Piece of the paint.
There's that quarter to a half second heavier.
Yeah, everyone's struggling with that this end.
So, yeah, you got 2 counters in the house, but not much of the house. So
this is bigger.
Blue's going to just try to get one, again, try to get it into the 4 foot and make Jamie react.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
This is that awkward spot where Sherry's rock ran really straight.
Saskatchewan's looking to find the uprights between the blue on the right and the one in the middle there.
Sherry just got hers really positive.
The 2 rocks that you can see on the top of your screen there, they're looking to come through those on the right side.
I think so.
I'm just listening to them in the hack right now. It's a fantastic conversation. Is it a little bit heavier? Yes, it's a little bit heavier. Sherry got hers a little bit out to the broom, so it ran straight. Like, very reassuring conversation.
Yeah. Dean Grindheim with his first to this 8th end, trailing by 1.
Trying to thread a port, get a rock into the 4 foot.
Sweeper's calling a 7, which would be great. Don't want to be behind the tee, though, but they got to go to get it by no matter what. Ingram and Tenachuk on the sweep. They're by, but where's this one going to stop? Is it going to stop?
Going to be a deep.
Oh, wow. That was heavy all the way.
So there again, unfortunately,
Like we
it's
do
so
this, right?
easy as a sweeper to
don't wanna go anywhere near
call a weight optimistically. You really got to be cautious.
I think it's the same
to
line.
not
I had
call
4
what you
feet
hope
pretty
it's going to
close.
be, but call it what it actually is.
We haven't seen too many heavy shots, particularly the second half of this game, but
That's heavier there.
Unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of ways they
I
could
kinda
have
thought I threw what I threw
saved
with
that
so many
knowing it
T-line
was
on
heavy,
that.
but had you been able to
You guys
just
had to
catch a
goose it to
piece of that
12
middle blue one, you would have opened up the draw path for your last one a little better. That would have been the
Let him make that port draw.
bonus in that. You
We
may have
can
chipped
get
one
half
in,
the
but you
fourth
would have
one.
opened
Here's a
up
good
that draw path.
Jamie
So what do you want, 4
acknowledging
more
that felt heavier on his first.
Maybe
It
a hair
was
more.
slower on his first, the ice, than he was on his freeze in the fourth end. So you will expect this one to be close. He just threw it. He knows it's a bit slower now than it was earlier in the game. Wanting to lose
Mine's
one
good.
behind all these guards
It
and
might be out in the
set
good
up a
stuff, though.
steal chance.
Whoa!
He
Where
threw
is it?
out
Whoa!
just a bit wide of the broom, so it's riding in that
Oh,
cleaner
it's
pebble.
running different.
Ooh. Still
it's
hasn't
trying.
found the curl. There it goes now, but
A little late on that break, so it's going to be deep.
very deep.
Sit. Oh,
Good news is, worst case scenario is
totally
a tie
different,
game.
eh?
Bad news is that didn't put a lot of pressure on Saskatchewan.
That was
Shoot,
a different
still a
path.
totally
they said.
different thing.
Yep.
You know, Saskatchewan can have a bit of a deep breath here because they now have a two-rock
Goose it again, but
backing.
Well, interesting too is that you just watched Jamie in a fairly similar path come up short on one and go
Shoot,
deep
I
on
thought that was
another.
the weight.
So if you're Dean, you know, what do you process there and how do you throw it, right? So this is the fresher path. They were out basically where Jamie just threw. So they
I would also remind myself that my rock
did I
is
have on that
probably
last
going
one?
to
Like,
curl
was it close to
sooner
that?
and harder than Jamie's, so he will be out
the
in
same
the
weight?
clean pebble.
yeah.
Having the backing is reassuring, but you also have to recognize that it's different weight to
For Northwest Territories right now, they need a good chunk of the 8-foot to force the extra end.
He seems a hair inside on his broom, but his weight is nicely accommodating it.
whoa!
Back 8 is the call from the sweepers. Margot Fleming ready to sweep this at the tee line. Will it stop in time? Oh, not quite, and it's a steal of one for the Northwest Territories and a 7-5 win for the team from Yellowknife to improve to 6-1 here at the Canadian Mixed Curling Championships, and that will hand Saskatchewan their third loss to go to 4-3. They're still in this. We're still here. Later tonight, 7 p.m., it will be a double dose of Jamie Cooey and his foursome. Gord Coppathorne and myself, Darren McEwen, will be back for the game between Northwest Territories and Ontario, live from the Canmore Golf and Curling Club. See you then.